This is extremely good news for the Hurricanes as we get a major update surrounding a key player within the team heading into the playoff push, heading into the playoffs themselves. This is a big move and a big moment for the Hurricanes right now, for the Hurricanes in the future, for the Chicago Wolves playoff push, for the Carolina Hurricanes playoff push. This news is just absolutely enormous. Welcome to Hurricanes Digest. I'm Jeff Testanero. Before we get going, I want to remind you to like, comment, subscribe. You're all doing really well. Smash that subscribe button. Let's get this up. Also, this video is brought to you by Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the #1 sports pick app in America. Download it today. Click the link in the description. Use code DIGEST when setting it up. You can have a lot of fun with the Hurricanes. You can have a lot of fun with the Hornets. You can have a lot of fun with any team you want. I made some picks earlier. I picked the Hornets to do something. Let's see how I do. Prize Picks, sign up today. Caniacs. Before we get into all the goings on, this is just really, really cool stuff that came down today. We broke the story on our shorts. Came down from the Hurricanes PR. Major news, a major update of something we never thought would happen ever. Goaltender Pyotr Kochetkov has been assigned to the Chicago Wolves for a rehab stint with their AHL affiliate. Pyotr hasn't played on the ice an actual game since December 20th, when he decided to pull himself and decided to go get surgery on a nagging injury that has been bothering him for years. Took him out a little bit last year. He decided he couldn't play through it, went and got surgery, and was then listed as out for the rest of the season back in December. Well, Pyotr decided that wasn't possible. So last week, Pyotr went and skated with the boys, did a little soft practice, and now Dr. Tulsky has assigned Kochetkov to the Wolves of the AHL to do a little rehab stint. That is awesome news for everybody. Now, I get Kochetkov doesn't have a lot of numbers to go off of, but what does this mean for the goaltender rotation heading down the stretch and heading into the NHL playoffs? I'm not saying Pyotr's going to suit up for the Canes, but he's legit one step away from being back in Raleigh. You know, he doesn't have much to go off this season. His injury was nagging. Freddie wasn't playing well, so the rise of Brandon Bussi happened. But now it seems with both Bussi and Anderson being more cold than hot, maybe Kochetkov is a viable option. You know, what does this mean for a potential three-way goalie rotation? Would Coach Brind'Amour juggle 3 goalies during the NHL playoffs? 3 starters? Not just one set starter, but each one starts a game? That's pretty something. You know, I've never seen that happen. So if, you know, they play Ottawa and Ottawa's got Bussi figured out, the next day he's got Anderson and Anderson can shut him down, and maybe the next day after that they have Kochetkov. This is going to keep teams on their toes if Kochetkov does head back to the Hurricanes for the playoffs. It's just amazing stuff. So what if the rehab stint does go well? Well, you always have veteran Freddie Anderson. You know? You've always got Freddie. You've always got Freddie doing things. You've always got Freddie there ready for you. This season, Mr. Anderson has a record of 15-14-5 with a 3.12 goals against average and a save percent of .871. Not really Freddie type numbers, but he did stop 23 of 25 shots last night versus Chicago in a 7-2 win. And Freddie has all the playoff experience. You know, his experience Usually has him win out as the starter in general. But after this down season, there's no telling what Coach Brind'Amour could do. When Piotr went down, everyone thought Freddie was the guaranteed starter. What do we do for a back off? And then Bussy took off. And then Bussy was the starter up to the Olympics. And what about Freddie? Well, Bussy was playing well. If you have to choose between the three of them, naturally everybody goes for the experience, but was that experience help him? And when the play is hotter, when the play is harder, when the shots are faster and everybody's more aggressive, Or does he go with the rookie? Speaking of the bus, he rose as the starter after Kochetkov went down and Freddie just didn't play up to par. He's boasting a record of 36-1 this season, which is amazing for any rookie goalie in the NHL. He was the fastest goalie to 20 wins. He had a little slide. He had a major slide since the Olympic break. He has a 2.52 goals against average and a .892 save percentage so far this year. The issue with looking at Bussy to lean on to start in the postseason is the exact opposite of why you would pick Freddie. He has zero playoff experience. So numbers-wise, that hurts a bit. Logically, that hurts a bit. He's still got a bit of an ongoing slide. He did not play well versus Boston the other night. That could be the opening for Kochetkov. Bus isn't playing well. Bus is sliding a little bit. Freddie's hot and cold a little bit. Let's insert Kochetkov back into the number 2. Let's balance this around. This is a very interesting thing to do. This is a very interesting situation for everybody to be in, especially this guy. This guy right here. What does Coach Brind'Amour do? What if the rehab stint for Kochetkov goes well and he's stuck with a giant conundrum? Bringing Kochetkov back to the Canes and juggling 3 goalies during the playoffs? A 3-goalie starting rotation is completely unheard of. Do they leave Piotr in Chicago and wait till next season? Do they ride the bus till the wheels fall off and go back to Anderson? Or do they bet on Piotr? Does he start all 3 simultaneously? 1, 2, 3. Game 1, Bus. Game 2, Anderson. Game 3, Kochetkov. And rotate them around based on how they're playing. Or just go 1, 2, 3. That's half a series. I mean, like I said earlier, if they figure out Bussy and they throw Kochetkov in, they don't have Kochetkov figured out. I mean, this is something. And if Freddie plays well, if he goes with Freddie to start and Freddie starts playing Anderson like in the playoffs, where does that leave Bussy and Kochetkov in the rotation? Who's 2 and 3? This is not an easy thing for Coach Brind'Amour to deal with if the rehab stint with the Chicago Wolves goes well. It really isn't. It's a good problem to have, I guess. To remind you, this video is brought to you by Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the #1 sports pick app in the United States. Get you involved in the game. Click the link in the description. Use code DIGEST when you're setting up your app. And have a lot of fun with it. I did my go check out the video I did earlier. I did my picks there. I didn't bet on anything. I picked the Hornets to do something. What a conundrum for Coach Brind'Amour to be in. This is a good problem to have, I guess, but this is confusing. Now, I'm just going off with the fact that Kochetkov does well with the Chicago Wolves, and he now has 3 goalies to pick from. It's nice having good team problems. First world problems here in the NHL. What goalie do I choose from? Some teams don't even have goalies. Well, we got 3. Nice to see Kochetkov back. Hope he does well with the Chicago Wolves. If he does stay there in the playoffs, I hope he leads them to another Calder Cup to make that 6. That's amazing. If he gets back to the NHL, I would love to see a 3 goalie rotation. Anyway, thanks for watching. Let's go, Canes.